Plus, Commissioner for Health briefs Edo lawmakers on government's efforts to curb spread of COVID-19. Good evening, thanks for joining us on NTA Benin Main News. I am Obehi Otobo Aprasai. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed 22 new cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria as at 9 o'clock Wednesday evening. Out of the 22 new cases, 15 are in Lagos, 4 in the FCT, 2 in Bauchi, and 1 in Edo. 44 persons have so far been discharged, while 6 have died from the virus. The presidential pardon of inmates to decongest custodial centers across the country has flagged off this Thursday at the Kuje Correctional Center, Kuje, Abuja. The initiative is part of the urgent measures taken by the federal government to stop the spread of COVID-19. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, who represented President Muhammadu Buhari at the flag off, says the process of coming up with the list of inmates to be freed commenced since 2018. The minister says the Presidential Advisory Committee on Prerogative of Mercy adopted the use of interviews, observations, consultations, and relevant documents of inmates from correctional centers across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to identify those eligible. A total of 70 inmates are to be released from the Kuje Correctional Center, while 2,600 inmates are expected to regain their freedom across the nation, pending when the processes are finalized by the state government. As part of efforts to contain the further spread of COVID-19 in the globe, Nigerian Red Cross Society Edo State Chapter fumigated the Nigerian Correctional Services Major Security Custodial Center in the city and also presented sanitizers to the inmates.
Given the level of congestion in most detention facilities and the high infectious rate of the coronavirus, detention facilities generally are vulnerable when it comes to preventing and containing infectious disease. It is to stem the tide that Chairman of the State Chapter of the Red Cross, Festus Alehe, led other members to fumigate the prison, just as he donated hand-washing kits and sanitation materials.
So what we have come this morning is to fumigate the entire cells in Benin Correctional Service and also to fumigate the surrounding. The move is to prevent them from having contacted with coronavirus.
Deputy Superintendent of Corrections Aminu Sumaila Suleiman commended the humanitarian gesture of the Red Cross.
This kind of partnership is what is required for us to move forward. This is going to go a long way to complement the efforts of the Nigerian Correctional Service in terms of combating and preventing the COVID-19 from getting to the inmates.
Since the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic, Red Cross is one of the associations that has been supporting government's effort to curb the spread of the virus. In Benin, Elizabeth Omako, NTA News.
The measures put in place by Edo State government to curb the spread of COVID-19 will be more effective if every Edo resident adhere to government directives. Commissioner for Health, Dr. Patrick Okundia, stated this while briefing Edo State House of Assembly's Committee on Health on the state government's effort to address the pandemic.
This is the first time the House will be briefed by the Commissioner since the first coronavirus case was confirmed in Edo State. Dr. Okundia says over 100 contact tracers in the state are efficiently monitoring over 1,000 residents who have had contact with confirmed cases. He says, in as much as government has equipped isolation centers, there will be continuous sensitization to urge people to play their part in the fight to prevent further spread of the virus.
We are managing the situation, but there is a bigger problem that may come at the end of COVID-19, and that is the economic disease that may be difficult for us to manage. And this is what the government of Edo State is doing, and we are doing it very well. Manage the COVID-19 pandemic as well as manage effectively to minimize the huge economic burden that it will for the state.
The House leader and chairman House Committee on Health, Roland Asoro, expressed satisfaction with government's efforts. He assured government of the support of the lawmakers.
Satisfied with his briefing. He has given us all that the government is doing in view of ameliorating the suffering of Edo people regarding this COVID-19. As a matter of fact, he has gone in details to tell us what the government have put in place to check this pandemic.
The House had adjourned sitting to the 29th of this month.
Partial compliance characterized the state government's directive of compulsory use of face mask and social distancing. Elizabeth Omoko, who was in town, filed in this report.
At the popular Ring Road and other areas, few residents complied with the directive, while many others are yet to embrace the use of face masks. It was also observed that some residents used improvised face masks to protect themselves against the dreaded virus. Some residents are happy with the state government, but appealed for the availability and free distribution of the protective masks.
The hike in the prices makes it very, very hard for people to afford it.
The reason why I'm not wearing, because when you see in a Facebook, I saw somebody that be infected because of this mask when it was on it. I don't believe in those things. Those things cannot help. It's only this God that can cry and can be able to help us.
Me not having face masks is because government failed to give us, and it's their responsibility for government to give us face masks.
And I see buy. To say they carry come here and I go buy. And money not still the country would they manage to.
On the right way to wear the face mask, the WHO representative, Dr. Alfonso Agberemole, speaks.
The green side is actually the side that is meant to repel molecules, repel moisture. We call that one, it's a hydrophobic layer. Then there is the inner side, which is the white. The white is actually hydrophilic. Hydrophilic means it attracts water, it can absorb water. And then there's the middle layer, which is the one that actually filters the germs. Now, it is the white, which is the hydrophilic part that should be worn inside.
Edo State government on Wednesday directed that it is compulsory for residents to use protective masks in public. In Benin, Elizabeth Omako, NT News.
And away from the COVID-19, today is Holy Thursday. Catholics all over the world usually observe the day with the Mass of the Lord's Supper. It inaugurates the Easter Triduum and commemorates the Last Supper of Jesus Christ with his disciples. Very Reverend Father Mike Oyanofo, Councillor, Archdiocese of Benin, and Administrator of St. Philomena's Catholic Hospital, while explaining the significance of Holy Thursday, says it is an expression of love and humility.
It's a celebration of joy, a celebration of happiness, a celebration of hope, because he renews our souls often. Whenever we have this Holy Thursday, we're always very happy, because the Eucharist feeds not only the body, but the soul. When we celebrate the Last Supper, so many things are involved. We do this basically in the evenings, and during this celebration, we have something that is also very symbolic. It is described as the washing of the feet. This washing of the feet is a call to service, a call to charity, and a call to love. We are reminded by Christ, because he gave us a new commandment. And the new commandment is simple. love one another as I have loved you. Love is therefore one major factor as we celebrate the Eucharist. We cannot celebrate the Holy Eucharist without love.
This year's Easter Thursday and Easter will be celebrated at home. It is due to the COVID-19 pandemic that has affected religious mode of worship across the world. Here in the studio to discuss more on the significance of this is Reverend Father Ignatius Gede. He is the parish priest of St. Fidelis Catholic Church at Duwawa. Father, thank you very much for joining us. For the first time in history, I can safely say, Easter will be celebrated at home. Do you think this will remove from the graces Christians enjoy during the season?
No, not at all. I want to begin by saying good evening to everyone here in the US. Of course, Easter, everyone that has been a Christian and will still be Christians, they have been celebrating that very special peak of the Christian life, the Easter, the church, the congregation. But now, because of the situation we have now, to cooperate with the government and the church in order that we may be alive to serve God, not as dead people in the cemetery. Of course, the people will get the spiritual benefit by staying at home. The priests have been asked by the Archbishop various dioceses to celebrate the Mass for the people. So even if you're not in the church physically, the Mass celebrated for you in the church by the priest applies exactly as you should be in the church. Just because you're not there does not mean that you will have the spiritual benefit.
Okay. So how do you advise faithful to conduct themselves during this period?
Yeah, first and foremost, the conduct we ought to conduct ourselves is to first listen to the government in order to curb and contain the COVID-19, and then to listen to the spiritual leaders. We are able to listen to them and obey the basics that we are called to do so that we flush away the COVID-19. Then for sure we will be able to get away with this. I don't think it's the first time it happened in the world. If we keep coming, then we have to contain it because we are intelligent beings. With that rationale, we'll be able to overcome all this. Yeah.
So without the congregational worship, mode of worship for now, which Christians are used to, how can faithful convert the current situation for spiritual growth?
The priests, the pastors, and religious leaders, thank God for the social media. They have their cell phones, they have their TVs, they have their televisions and their radio. And personally, in my church and with the 3 priests I have with me and other parishes, we go on WhatsApp or YouTube and streamline our daily reflections. We tell the people the time exactly when we're going to have Mass and prayer. So we just ask them to spiritually to tune in at that particular time. If it's 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock, they will be at home, and in mind they could also have remember that something is going on like this in the church, so they will spiritually avail themselves. In fact, we tell them, dress as good as you're going to church. With your family, sit at home. If you have the television, you can watch, or we send you the messages from the WhatsApp. Somebody reads the first reading, the psalm, the gospel, and you get the reflection from the priest. And that, if you spiritually, put yourself into it, is as good as you're there with us in the church. And I believe that those who are spiritually and seriously doing that, they are getting their spiritual benefits.
What's your, general advice now for the public concerning, directives on how to prevent this coronavirus pandemic?
Yeah, the church and the people of God cannot be in isolation from the government. If you are a good citizen, for sure you'll be a good Christian. So if you have a situation that is destroying everyone, that is no respect of any religion or persons or status, and the government is saying this is what the way we should go, and the church is also queuing in with the government, I believe every faithful in the church should be able to obey the basics. And I believe this will be will overcome it.
Thank you very much, Reverend Father, for coming on the news tonight. And now it's time for our first break. When we return, we have more reports. Please stay with us.
We sing happy birthday to you, and may all your dreams come true.
Hooray! Our wife and daughter turns 70. We celebrate with you our darling wife, mother and grandmother, Mrs. Roxana Gaius Obaseki, as you clock 70. By all means, you have been a blessing to the Obaseki family, enlarging it with very responsible children. Your support to our son has been of immense benefit, and you have always shown an astute finesse with the open arms and hospitality with which you receive and attend to us, your in-laws. On this auspicious day, we celebrate your life and achievements, even as we ask the Creator to grant you more fruitful years. Signed, Pa George Osayomori Gaius Obaseki Okaigbe, for the Obaseki family.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy.
Hey, now me I go ask and say, why all of us go pay 100,000 naira? Say cause say your husband, he want do 70th birthday. Shey na all of us marry am together. Hey, when her mama die, she collect money. Her papa die, she collect money. Her mama die, she collect. You remember when she talk say she wanted her mama dead body?
Mama, you too talk.
Now you be glad when they dash me credit anyhow. Imagine 40-year-old dead body. Why you dey laugh now? Now try to bring your money.
Mama, no laugh.
Not be you, Jerry. Now some apropos customer there when they know they mind their own business. Well, I never even begin to give you her gist.
Glow and Maple. Get 5 times your recharge to call all networks. Recharge with *555 *PIN #.
Make I sell my market finish first, eh? I will call you back. Oh.
Next time you visit the ancient city of Benin, 2 things will excite you: the warmth and welcome of its people, and of course, the class and style of its hospitality business. Randeki Gold, home of hospitality like no other, located in one of the most serene environments in the ancient city, truly classy and exquisite with world-class facilities. Fully equipped digital multipurpose hall with life-size, ultra-high definition LED screen, 180 square meters king-size swimming pool with bubble bath, enough to leave you breathless. The exotic Ariel's Bistro and Grill restaurant with variety of continental dishes, especially some of the rarest delicacies you can find in town. Fact is, a visit will truly convince you that we are gold. Randeki Gold is the gold wing of the prestigious Randeki Royal Hotel at 6 Henry Street off Ihama and Boundary Roads, GRA Benin City. www.randekihotels.com. Randeki Gold, our hospitality is gold.
Ogbelo 2020 don't come with ogbonge travel awufo. Muyi line, the transport company wey get everybody for mind. Say comfortable traveling no suppose tear pocket o, as awu bonanza price still dey from Benin to Lagos, mine to Yanakpaja, Yaba and Aja for just 2,500 naira. Benin to Port Harcourt 2,000 naira plus cheap awu price. So worry Bayelsa and Niger Delta routes, including Ekpoma, Auchi and Abuja. Muyi line executive charter cars like Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry and Sienna dey to local and international airports and anywhere for Nigeria. Save money, enjoy safe and comfortable journey as this travel awoof dey till June 30th, 2020. Muyi line head office dey 169 Oselu Lagos Road, opposite Technical Junction, Benin City. Muyi line, friend of Nigeria students.
Signature Hotel, please until Signature Hotel, our place of hospitality in the heart of Benin City. Please and
Pleasant Hill Signature Hotel, a place of hospitality in the heart of Benin City, located at 134 Akpakpavo Road, Benin City, Edo State. or call 0528 40557 or 081 36 3908.
Please until Signature Hotel. Please until Signature Hotel. A place of hospitality.
Cancer. There are over 100 different types of cancer: breast cancer, lung cancer, cervical cancer, and many others. Cancer harms the body when altered cells divide uncontrollably to form lumps called tumors. Anyone is at the risk of getting cancer, but some are more likely at risk because of inherited cancerous gene. Some cancers are sometimes lifestyle-induced, like smoking, lack of exercise, poor diet, chemical emissions, environmental or water pollution may play a role. The chances of having cancer can be reduced by avoiding smoking, using tobacco products and alcohol, eating fresh food, and getting regular exercise. There are some tests and screening to help detect cancerous cells, like mammogram for breast cancer and pap test for cervical cancer, and through other cancer detection tests. Your fighting chance against cancer is early detection and treatment through regular screening and testing. This message is powered by LAPO, improving lives.
Thank you for staying with us. Relocation of markets to various schools across Benin has entered its second day. The traders are appealing to relevant authorities to provide makeshift shelter to shield them from the scorching sun. Philomena reports.
A visit to some of the schools where some markets are relocated indicate the presence of handful of traders and buyers. Although the traders are few, some were seen in clusters disregarding the social distancing directives. Lack of sales and exposure to harsh weather were some of the complaints of the traders.
It's still good now, as I see they say now, so it's still big. That's because it's now one person never said 2,000, never said 3,000 since morning. But make we obey government now, make us come here.
Others say government should do more enlightenment on the necessity of the relocation of the markets.
Why may God still help us? They announce to people say now here we dey now so that they will feel they enter here.
I think say the entrance of the gate they will give sanitizer. They will give people sanitizer or they will put something for ground where person will wash hand. If they come inside wash hand, if they go outside wash hand, it will be better.
The state government directed that all markets in Benin metropolis be relocated to close-by schools this week, so as to enable the government to fumigate them to contain the further spread of COVID-19. In Benin, Philomena Ogbebo, NTA News.
6 traders at the Lagos Street Market were apprehended today for flouting government's stay-at-home directive. Elizabeth Omoko on a roving mission captured the moment.
The stay-at-home directive of the state government exempted essential traders who deal only on food items, pharmaceuticals, and petrol stations. But these traders were said to be exchanging money when the combined team of enforcers pounced on them.
I just come from inside the house. I don't know what is happening. You just come on. This house is not market. It's inside the house.
Don't talk anything, madam. Now watermelon are the same.
The drama, however, changed when one of the traders sought for an escape route. Governor Basaki had in a state broadcast Wednesday revealed that those who do not obey will be prosecuted. In Benin, Elizabeth Amako, NTA News.
Let's take another break. When we return, the concluding segment of the news. Stay with us.
It's your birthday, so let's party and have some fun.
7 70 birthday cheers to the matriarch, Mrs. Roxana Gaius Obaseki. Today, we celebrate an exceptionally hardworking, infinitely fair-minded and loving wife, mother and grandmother, the first Deputy Director and Head of Nursing Services of UBTH, Mrs. Roxana Gaius Obaseki, as she clocks 70. You have indeed become a septuagenarian of immense significance. Your rosy and challenging years on earth so far have culminated in the visibility of your achievements. A beacon of hope and inspiration you have become to the younger generation. They draw from your inspiring firmness, the same firmness you displayed in family life that have endeared your children and your ever-supportive husband, Dr. Jackson Gaius Obaseki, to you. It is our prayer that you continue to radiate in beauty, elegance and bliss, even as we pray God to grant you much more fruitful years ahead. 70 happy cheers, courtesy in-laws, committee of friends and colleagues.
St. Regis Hotels and Resorts. Come have a taste of class and quality. Exclusive VIP suites and resorts in GRA, Benin City. Experience paradise in comfort. Come live in your dream home of luxury. St. Regis Hotels and Resorts at number 7 Osaigede Street off Upper Adesua, GRA, Benin City. For reservations, call 08-1800-00956.
For Newthurssday Motors, now safety of all our passengers be number one. We dey make sure say we use new motor and driver wey qualify carry our passengers reach where them they go.
Correct! Safety first. Safety first. Newthurssday Motors. Now you, Biko.
Safety and comfort come to Newthurssday Motors. Our head office there for number 156B, Benin Aoshi Road, Aduawa, Benin City. The park of the load for Benin, number 1 Eagle Street off Sopomba Road by Sizzlers by Ring Road there for Benin City. Number 188 Motala Mohammed Way, Benin City. Ogbowo. We there for number 38 Ubo Lagos Road, opposite UBTH Gate, Benin City. For Ekpoma, Newthurssday Motors there by Beverly Hills Junction, Benin Aoshi Expressway, Ekpoma. For Abraka, we there for Police Station Road Junction, Abraka Delta State. For Port Harcourt, Newthurssday Motors just there for number 3 Oluo Passenger Road by Rebisi Motor Park, Waterlines, Port Harcourt for River State. We also there for number 190 Abba Port Harcourt Road by Rumola, Port Harcourt, River State. For Uyo, Newthurssday Motors there for number 115 Ikotek Pene Road, opposite Akwa Ibom Transport Company. Uyo, Newthurssday Motors, as lion be king of forest, now so Newthurssday Motors be king of the road. Bam!
A total of 1,563,867 cases of coronavirus have been confirmed in the world as at 5 o'clock this evening, with 91,831 deaths recorded. The United States of America still has the highest confirmed cases, with 449,555 persons affected with the virus, with over 1,000 deaths recorded in the past 24 hours. Spain now has 152,446 confirmed cases, while Italy has 143,626 coronavirus patients. And that's it on our main news tonight. We thank you very much for watching. Good evening.